Hello.
Welcome.
You get it.
Thank you for being patient while I ran for my car. um, Welcome to the April 16th regular meeting of the Historic District Commission meeting. I would like to welcome our new members, Ed and Tyler. Thank you so much for joining us in person. It's always lovely to have more folks here at City Hall joining us. So welcome, guys. Thank you. Really excited to have you both. And all right, I don't think I see any other applicants online. Okay. So I'll read my general script here just for your benefit, Tyler and Ed, so that you kind of get the sense of how we normally start every meeting. And we'll get into things. So I will get started. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the April 16th regular meeting of the Historic District Commission. My name is Regan, and I'm the chairman, or chairwoman for that matter. I wanted just to let everybody know that this meeting is being recorded. And for those on Zoom, if you are not speaking, just please have yourself on mute to prevent any sort of background noise. Our meeting tonight will be broken up into two sections. The public hearing will be first, and then the regular meeting will be after. The public hearing is the opportunity for applicants to present their application, for commission members to ask questions. Once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting will begin. The regular meeting is where the commission discusses and votes on the applications. Applicants can stay and listen to the regular meeting, but applicants are not permitted to speak or provide additional information at that time. Applicants are not required to stay during the regular meeting, and they will be informed afterwards regarding the commission's decision. That's everything that I have to say for the moment. Any questions? All right, cool. So let me just grab my answer. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to open the public hearing here at 5:34 p.m. And the first item we have here on our agenda is COA 569, 46 East Town Street, the Norwich Town Colonial Burying Ground. And I believe we do have an applicant here to present. So Dana, I'll have you take it away.
Yes, so in line with protocol for working in the historic colonial burying ground in Norwich Town, I'm working on behalf of the Connecticut Society of the Sons of the American Revolution. And I won't go into all the details are outlined in the letter and the application. So if you need further information, I would just consult the documents. But the short version is that we will be holding a commemoration event on Sunday, July 13th in the Colonial Burying Ground, where we're going to be marking 5 graves of folks who served in the American Revolution. So these are 5 soldiers or servicemen of some sort. And as with custom with the SAR, we'll be marking them with grave markers. There's 2 different types. The one that we're going with right now is an 8x10 granite stone that gets mounted flush to the surface of the ground, either adjacent or in front of the graves represented. And so as part of the protocol, we have to work with the Public Works Department. They have to run it by the director as well as the Capital Improvements Committee. I've spoken with Brian Long, and he emailed me. I gave him all of the details surrounding the project, and he signed off on it via email. I had an in-person conversation with him at the one of the more recent city council meetings on April 7th, where he again gave his okay on that front. So I have both of those confirmations. And unless anybody has any particular questions, I'm happy to answer them, but that's the scope of the project.
Awesome. Okay. That. Does anyone have questions for Dane wearing his applicant hat at the moment?
I have a question just out of curiosity. You mentioned that the burial ground contains dozens. Get your these stones 5.
There's no particular process for choosing them. Some graves do have unofficial markers. To my knowledge, I don't think the SAR has done an official grave marking in that burying ground. I know the DAR has over the years, going back even as far as 100 plus years ago, but I think this is the first time the SAR has actually marked any graves. So I was pretty much given clear freedom of picking picking the folks. So I picked a variety of soldiers, ranging from militia to officers to regular army, et cetera, et cetera.
Very good, thank you.
See John Durkee's.
Yeah, I figured I'd include him since I wrote a book on him. So, yeah.
Are you guys convinced that you know the actual burial place of the main?
Yes, I've confirmed where each one of them are.
I know one of Public Works' questions is that these will be flush and typically on the ground, so like the mowers won't be impacted.
Yeah, that was the one thing. Yeah, that was what Brian had asked about was, is this going to require any maintenance from Public Works? The answer is no. The stones are flush mounted into the ground. They're anywhere from 3 to 4 inches in thickness, and so they have specialists that do these pretty regularly and planting them and placing them. So we're not too concerned about that. So they'll be mounted properly, and so mowers and trimmers won't hit them. The other markers are standard bronze stakes that go into the ground, and we opted against those because number one, they're very expensive. They're upwards of $250 a pop, and because they're solid bronze, they're prone to being pilfered, as we have seen in other cases. So that's the big reason why we decided to go with the stone markers.
Gotcha.
What was this place in Georgia chosen?
He's an SAR member, Emil Decker, and he's done work for many SAR chapters throughout the country.
Any questions? Any questions from you, Nancy?
No, it seems like a nice thing. Seems appropriate.
Oh yeah, I mean this again, like it is the first time I think the SAR has done an official grave marking in the burying ground. There have been regular grave markings in other cemeteries throughout Connecticut, but Norwich, for one reason or another, has, I guess, been typically overlooked for reasons unknown to me.
Cool. I don't have any further questions. You guys good?
Yeah, good.
Nancy, you good?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dane. Appreciate it. Is there anyone on the call here to discuss the next COA, 570, 181 Broadway? If there's anyone in the room and I don't see anyone on Zoom, I'll just ask one more time. Anyone representing COA 570, 181 Broadway? One more time, just for the one here representing COA 570, 181 Broadway. Hearing none, I'm going to then move on and close the public hearing at 5:40 p.m. and we'll head into the regular meeting portion. And the first item on our agenda here is the action on COAs. And just for Tyler and Ed, for your benefit, what we normally do is we make a motion, we discuss, well, if there's any, and then we'll do a roll call vote. Since we still have Zoom, or hybrid, we'll just have everyone say their name and give your vote, a yay or nay.
Robert's rules.
Yeah, thank you. Robert's Rules of Order, exactly. Yeah, so I will start then with, I'll entertain a motion to then approve COA 569 as presented and written.
And is that Is that
That's
the one I
the
submitted?
burying ground,
Okay,
yes. So that's COA 569, 46 East Town Street, the Norwich Town Colonial Burying Ground. And entertain a motion to approve as written and submitted.
I move we approve the application as presented.
I heard Tyler first, Nancy. I'll give it to him being our first time commission member. But
Thanks,
thank
Nancy.
Nancy can get a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate that. And any further discussion? Hearing none, I will ask for the roll call vote. Nancy, I'll start with you.
Aye.
Jane,
I'll abstain just because I'm the applicant.
perfect.
Ed Everbeck, yeah.
I will also, Regan Minor, say yay. Motion passes.
Not
unanimously.
allowed to vote.
No, sorry, Greg. You're our public today, a member of the public.
That's terrific.
And motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. So the next item on our agenda here is COA 570, 181 Broadway. I would entertain a motion to deny this application as submitted.
It's better if you.
Question.
Oh,
Yeah,
about this.
sorry.
You can't do it. You're not part of it. I can't ask
It
the
makes-
question. Okay, maybe you can.
What I've heard is to deny an approval, then approve it.
Say that one more time. Sorry. I was-
For, I've heard
Yeah.
from the guy that chairs the ZBA, Mark Benjamin, and he's really well versed in it. It makes more sense to deny an approval than approve it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Makes
like if it
sense.
comes
Okay.
back up.
Just a question, does it make more sense to have some discussion before?
You can.
Yeah, we
open
would have
the
a
motion,
discussion.
have the discussion, and then make.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have application 560 now.
What are they doing to the house? I don't know, you can't tell.
That was a typo on there, and I meant to delete that after,
Okay,
so
so
it's
it's
right on the
181
application. That is the right application.
Bill 181
Yeah.
Broadway, correct?
Yeah, and that's the same one, like I said, on some of them, it's missing the minutes, the sentence that they typed on there, so I'm gonna make sure to resend this to the city anyway, because I wanna make sure they have one sentence in this work,
Okay.
and I don't know why, for some reason, when I opened the PDF, sometimes they disappeared. Here. Yeah, and it could have just been my computer, but
So it's, let me just make sure that I've got them the right number
it
here.
just said, I think chimney is old, too wet.
It says, removal of
Yeah.
chimney, too old and wet
Yeah.
penetration.
So just so I'm reading it correctly, it's 570, 560.
Yeah, it's 570.
It is 570. All right. Okay, thanks. Okay, getting back to our regularly scheduled program here. So I would entertain a motion to approve COA 570, 181 Broadway as submitted.
So moved.
Thank you, Dane. Any discussion on
Need a
this?
second.
Oh, sorry, thank you, sorry, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Nancy seconded, thank you guys, appreciate it. So some discussion on this application. I had been corresponding with the applicant and had encouraged them to attend this meeting since, demolition of a architectural feature, a pretty prominent house is a big deal and was worth having them, come to give their case and discuss the more rationale besides just what was explained on the application. And so I don't see the applicant here to present. I did send the applicant our design guidelines and told them specifically what the chimney section in our design guidelines entailed, and I explained what mitigation efforts have been made so far to prevent the water infiltration. I mentioned half the chimney, like there's a lot of different things that they could do in order to prevent water damage. And so my feeling is that until we can get further information from the applicant, that I don't believe that we should.
I'm in agreement because they've not provided any information except this, two short sentences saying removal of chimney, too old and water penetration. So we've got no other details or anything surrounding it. So that's just not going to fly.
Well, we don't know how they're going to finish off the area or anything, actually.
Right.
Do we?
Did the person who represented, did they talk about feature at any point?
Nope.
They want to just remove it.
Correct. In its entirety.
So would it be appropriate to table it and request further information, or just deny it?
I think we should
Deny and
deny,
resubmit. I mean,
yeah, deny and resubmit.
because we can't take up this application by tabling it at the next meeting.
Or
Otherwise,
because-
we're going to go through the same.
Yeah.
Because if you
it's the
table
same-
it,
Yeah.
it's still the same documentation.
I just emailed you the files from last.
So yeah, we'd have to take up this old application and there's no point in doing that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have to resubmit.
They can do their due diligence.
Your budget meeting starting in like 10 minutes,
Yep.
so is it okay to close the doors? Are you gonna get overheated?
No,
You're gonna
it'll be fine, yeah.
Okay, you can always crack a window if it
Okay.
gets too warm.
Thanks,
Thank
Kathy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I had a few questions in my mind about this too. Number one, is the chimney even being used just for a furnace?
Correct.
And number two, to take the chimney down, then you're gonna need to patch the roof somehow,
Right,
right? And
Yeah.
how's that gonna happen?
Correct.
And it appears that there's several small satellite dishes.
Yeah, I know.
Too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if this committee can say to this person, well, we're gonna deny it, I understand, at least I think. And we're gonna say, come back with more information.
Mhm.
But it might be nice if we want to go back and say, give us this additional information, some of the questions. Now,
yeah,
you know?
I'd recommend like a bullet list of
Yes.
saying,
Right.
Yeah.
we need to have a lot
Right.
more information on
A lot more.
everything you just said and et cetera, yeah.
And the other question I had, if we deny and this person doesn't show up and we're done with it, what if she, I assume it's a she, decides to go ahead and do this work anyway? What kind of teeth does this committee have to stop?
Yeah,
Well,
we,
for one thing, they need to pull a permit.
Absolutely.
And the building department will not issue a permit unless we've taken an action.
Unless they find some contractor who doesn't require a permit.
This is true. This is true.
Right.
This isn't a one-day task.
Oh, it's definitely not a
So
work.
I mean, by the time that even if they start demolition, somebody would notice. And it's on a prominent road.
So in that case, somebody would have to say,
Yes.
hey, what's going on here? I don't see the building permit.
Correct.
And
And issue a
and
stop
that would-
work
and
order.
that would stop.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Is this a single-family residence? It looks like it's owned by an
Oh,
LLC.
no.
It's a multifamily.
That's been turned into.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
There's got to be like a half a dozen dishes. If that's the-
That's what I was looking, that may be.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I mean, I don't think it would say online, but yeah, it's a multifamily.
Do they need to get approval to do something like this?
Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I mean, if the property owner owns the building, then not with it necessarily without tenant.
I mean, we could talk about it all day, but as.
Not nearly enough.
No, nowhere near. I have one other question, somewhat related, more general. So I know that we're concerned with the exterior look of the building in question from the street. This house appears to be on a corner.
Hmm.
And so we need to be concerned about the look of the house from both the street and the side street as well.
It's the
Correct.
public way, so
Yeah.
whatever's the public right of way.
Correct. So that could be, sidewalk down Huntington Place, the,
Mhm.
I think it was at Broadway, right?
That's Broadway.
Broadway, thank
yeah.
you.
Okay,
Both directions.
that's what I thought.
essentially.
I just wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no, that's a great question.
Yeah, I think, well, what we will have to stress is, again, we can itemize all of the bullet points of what we need for information, but as far as a chimney goes, there's really no reason, unless the chimney has caved in on itself, why it can't be repaired. And if there's water leaking in, that's something that can be repaired without removing the structure. So I would stress that.
And if we go back with bullets, I would also say, this is just the minimum, Give us as much information as you possibly can.
You
You
haven't
just
given
see
it-
this person.
Yeah, you haven't
Coming back and answering
given
just
us
the
a
votes and everything
contractor.
else.
Yeah, you haven't given us a contractor. You haven't, there's nothing here.
Nothing here.
Are you gonna climb on the roof with a sledgehammer and do this yourself or?
Chimneys are tricky.
It must be bad.
Yeah. And one of my questions to the applicant though was like, is the chimney? That would be very easy.
Right, well, if it's
Solution.
not capped, then there's an answer, but if there's an issue with the flashing or if it needs to be repointed or if
Yeah.
bricks need to be replaced, that it can still be repaired. You don't have to take the whole chimney out.
It's the nature of, we don't even know where the leak is. Proof is there through there because
Yeah.
it could be flashing. It could be a lot of structural issues throughout the
Right.
entire
We
process.
don't know, that's right. We don't know where she's getting this information.
Right.
But it does look like there's a cap. But then again, at that point, even if you cap it, there are guidelines that it would give. too. So,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
um,
That's not the extent of it right now.
Great. Any further discussion from you?
No,
Other comments? Great. So then just to clarify, so the motion right now is to approve as submitted. And so that's the motion, just wanting to make everybody aware. So as I do the roll call vote, vote accordingly, but the motion is to approve. So I will start then with you, Nancy, on Zoom with the roll call vote.
yeah, not approved, deny.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. Dane, I'll go with you next.
No.
Nay.
Ed Abernathy, nay.
I vote nay as well, so the motion passes where we are denying.
Well, what it is the motion fails
The motion
unanimously.
Motion.
And that's the reason Mark said is because otherwise if you all voted to deny it, it would say the motion passed. So it's just kind of confusing where this is the motion denied. So the COA was denied, it's not approved.
Correct.
Yeah.
More clear.
Yeah, that makes sense. Great, thank you. So the motion has failed. Thank you, everybody. Okay, moving forward here on the agenda. Approval of the minutes from the Wednesday, March 19th, 2025 regular meeting. Thank you so much, Catherine, for putting things together for us. As always, we appreciate your work and effort. You do. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second,
Any discussion on the minutes?
I don't think so.
And thank you.
It's a light
Catherine.
agenda.
Yeah, it was quick. Thank you again, Catherine, for all your help. We appreciate it. All right, hearing no further discussion, I will do the roll call vote. So I'll start with you, Nancy.
approving the minutes, right?
Yes.
Yes, aye.
You, Jane,
Yes.
Tyler,
Stay due to me not being present.
fair enough. Ed,
Abstain, I was not here.
fair enough. And I will vote in favor. And I believe, yeah, we have a quorum, so the motion still passes. Yeah, minutes pass. Thank you, everybody. I don't have much to report for chairman's report, other than just welcome to our two members. I'm grateful to have you both here. Excited to have you on the commission and to fill our roster. So we are excited. We have another member of the commission, Megan Campbell, joining us. I thought she was going to hopefully join on Zoom, but it looks like she has a lot going on and wasn't able to join us. But she has also grateful to have you guys all here. And welcome
Thank you.
aboard. Just let me know if there's any questions you have throughout the course of the meeting or the process, and best I can.
Okay.
Thank you, Rico.
All right. Any old business? Any new business?
I don't know what
Yeah, question on new business.
And Greg,
you-
you're a member of the public. We can't have you speak.
Well, I just want to get back on the board again, okay? And it's not my fault. The forms are in. Now,
We'll
if I-
talk offline. Next meeting of the commission, the next regular meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 21st, 2025 at 5:30. We'll do a hybrid meeting as well. And anyone else have anything, last things to bring up? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Dane. Is there a second?
Second,
I heard it.
Hey,
I
everybody.
think that was everybody.
Everybody's ready to go.
That was everybody,
There you
but I'll
go.
give it to Ed. All right, and then I'll do the roll call vote. Nancy, I'll have you start us off.
aye.
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
and Steve? I vote aye. Yes, in favor of adjournment. Thank you all very much. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening and we'll see you next time.
Okay, very good.